Well, Hugh, how strong was the response to this job, and why did you go for Mark?
Yeah, it was a strong response. We were really pleased with the shortlisted candidates that we interviewed at the beginning of the month, and we're delighted that we've been able to agree terms with Mark, who was outstanding at the interview.
In terms of his past, obviously he's got decades of experience with Glamorgan, but how different a role is this going forward?
Yeah, it's a very different role. I mean, Mark was an outstanding player for the club. Over the last 2 years, he's served a real apprenticeship with the Professional Cricketers Association on the administration of the game. And that came across very strongly in his interview. He is absolutely across the contractual issues. He's across all the issues that are happening with ECB. He's sat on a number of committees there. So he's very current. He's somebody who is highly respected by the playing group, not just at Glamorgan, but across the whole of the country. He spent 2 terms as chairman of the PCA, and that just gives an indication of how well respected he is within the game.
How much impact do you think he can make in this job, and how quickly, really?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I think Mark was an outstanding player. I think he could be an even better administrator. He's somebody that gets on very well with people. He builds rapport with people. He can make tough decisions and has done in the last couple of years. And I believe that over a period of time that Mark's going to have a very successful career as an administrator, not just at Glamorgan, but possibly beyond as well.
How quickly are you and Mark going to be able to get a new coach, and then what's the timescale on that process?
Yeah, I mean, Mark's going to be starting with us on the 1st of February, so the timescale before the season is getting very short. We're very lucky in the interim. We have Matt, who's an experienced director of cricket and a head coach. So Matt's holding the tiller until we are in a position to appoint a full-time head coach.
Does that timescale make it more likely that he'll get the job on a permanent basis?
No, not at all. I mean, we said right from the word go that we were going to have an open recruitment for both jobs. We've obviously appointed Mark as director of cricket following an open recruitment process, and we'll be doing the same for the head coaching job too.
Right, in terms of recruitment on the playing side, where are you in terms of getting more batsmen in?
Yeah, we're in advanced discussions with one particular player at the moment, and we are hopeful that we'll be making an announcement sometime early in the new year.
And with Sean Marsh still doing well in the Australian side, Usman Khawaja doing well in there as well, it's not very likely that you'll see any Australian overseas batsmen in 2019, is it? Yeah,
I mean, I think that the picture will become pretty clear in the new year. I mean, obviously, both Sean and Usman threw their hats into the ring for the IPL. Neither of them have picked up. Australia have got a very busy international programme until the end of March, and then there's obviously a bit of a window until the Australian and all the other competing teams at the World Cup arrive in the beginning of May, or at least the middle of May. So we're just making some inquiries at the moment, and just to see exactly where we are, but hopefully things will become a little bit clearer early in the new year.
Presumably with the IPL recruitment having been done, there might be 1 or 2 other decent international players on the market?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one part of the jigsaw. It's a really complicated picture. Back in the day, it was a lot easier getting international players for the whole of the season. Now it's a little bit more piecemeal, and we just need to make sure that we have the right ones at the right time.
Yeah, what's the balance between trying to get someone in for the whole season and maybe accepting players who could be a little bit better but for a shorter time?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, isn't it? I mean, in many regards, we were lucky with the likes of Jacques Rudolph, who was here pretty much for the whole of the summer. The last couple of years it's been more difficult. Ironically, when we signed Sean Marsh, first of all, we were pretty convinced that we would have him for at least a year and a half. Clearly, that's not worked out. So it's a very difficult puzzle at the moment, but we're trying to work our way through it.
And where does the captaincy fall into that puzzle?
Yeah, again, I mean, Mark's going to have an important role in that. Clearly, Colin Ingram, who's now been picked up in the IPL, he was our 50-over captain, so that's something we're going to have to consider early in the year.
And in terms of championship captain, Michael Hogan said he was willing to continue or willing to pass it over if needed?
Yeah, again, I mean, that's all part of the discussion that we'll have in the early part of the year. Mark as director of cricket, it's really important that he leads on that.
You can have a busy January or February,
it's
or
going
both.
It's going to be a very busy 2019.